Yo, and hello, everybody. Mike here, baseball collector, and happy Wednesday to everybody. I know if you watched the vice presidential debate last night, you got your issues all churning, and I'm going to have a debate today. I want to go through something that is a fun topic to debate. I think, and I'm going to show you cards of 25 players that I think are playing right now that will be in the Hall of Fame at some point. And I've broken them down into categories, and I'll go over that in a minute when I start showing cards. But there's certainly more than 25 players that are playing now that probably will get in the Hall of Fame. I love thinking about this because I am a Hall of Fame guy. I love the Hall of Fame. To me, it matters. To me, it's important. We had Pete Rose pass away a couple of days ago, and he should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. And, so I just love debating this. I love talking about it. And I think we have an amazing group of talent in the major leagues right now. I think there is this unique group of players that are just spectacular to watch, and they're pretty amazing. So I want to go over their rookie cards, show you a bunch that I have acquired over the years. And I love speculating on that. I love buying guys that I think are going to be in the Hall of Fame. And we'll go through some of their stats and stuff. And yeah, I'd love to hear who you think. I'd love for you to say why you agree or disagree on any of the players that I mentioned today. And I will try to throw out as many stats as I can remember and all of that. But the real part of this that I think is very hard, I can tell you how many MVPs and Cy Youngs and whatever. There's a lot of this to me that is eye test. That is, I've watched them play. All these players are current players, so you can watch them play too. And, watch the games, as my friend Ed Westcott would say. Watch the games. And, yeah, you watch these guys play and you just think, yeah, they're on another level. They are better than everyone else out there. And so there are certain guys that are super young that didn't make my list of 25, and then there's some wiry veterans in there too. So let's flip this around, take a look at them, and go through the guys that I think will be in the Hall of Fame. Hang on. All right, here we go. Again, like I said, I have kind of three groups that I've put these players in, these 25 players. And again, there's probably plenty more guys that people would say should be included. Sure, I just did 25. I don't have cards for all of them. If I don't have the cards, I will show what the card that I'm going for looks like, and put a picture up and as I talk through the player. But the first guy, the first group, I should say, is there's a group of guys that I think don't ever have to lace them up again. They never have to play another game. They have done all they need to do. They would get in the Hall of Fame tomorrow if they retired. And so there are 6 of those guys that I want to talk about. And the first one is right here, Mike Trout. Here's 2 of his rookies. There's not much you need to say about Mike Trout. Insane WAR for his career. 3 MVPs, I believe. Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he's that guy for that decade, the 2010s, that I think everybody's going to remember. He's an outstanding player. I hope he gets healthy and continues to add to his resume. But he could retire tomorrow and he would get in. So there's the Trout rookies. Talk about a card that has fallen off and has become way more affordable. This is update Gem at 10. And then I picked this up not too long ago, this Bowman draft. I think I bought it from JT. So there's my Trout rookies. Next guy who never has to play another game, and actually might not ever play another game because he might retire, and that's Justin Verlander. His resume speaks for itself. Cy Young's, pitching Triple Crown. He has had an amazing career. He's got the strikeouts. He's got everything. Won an MVP, actually. And so, yeah, Justin Verlander definitely in the Hall of Fame. Let's see. Another guy, never has to play another game. Clayton Kershaw. Another guy who won a Triple Crown in pitching. Has had an amazing career. Injuries shockingly, injuries is going to be something I talk about with a lot of these players. And that's kind of sad. You have to talk so much about injuries just because of the way the game is today. But Kershaw has certainly earned his trip to Cooperstown with his career to this point. And again, I hope he does have another couple of seasons maybe to continue to show us why he's a Hall of Famer. Same class, you got this trifecta of great pitchers, Scherzer, Kershaw, and Verlander. Scherzer has certainly done enough. I've got to see him just a couple of times this year as he pitched for the Rangers. And he's so competitive. That's what in his time with the Rangers, I've learned about his competitiveness and how much he wants to be out there and wants to really pitch well for his team. And I don't know that he'll be back with the Rangers. We will see. But again, I hope he still gets to pitch a little bit more and, again, continue to add to his legacy. But Scherzer completely and totally already in the Hall of Fame. Never has to play again. Next two guys might surprise you a little bit, but they're definitely going to get in the Hall of Fame. Bryce Harper, and I would say he really cemented his Hall of Fame status last year when he won the MVP. He's continued to lead the Phillies this year to the best record in the National League, I believe. Maybe second best record in the National League. But watching Bryce Harper, he's a leader. He is a great player. And, yeah. So this is his Heritage rookie, which is not very common. This Heritage update set that came out in 2012 was limited to 1,000 sets. I got one back in 2012, and at the encouragement of JT, he said, hey, send this off, because if it gems, it's a big deal, and it gemmed. And I think the pop is mid-30s. I want 35, 36, something like that. There's not very many of them out there, which makes this a very expensive card, and I'm glad that I own one. It's my only Harper rookie, so I need to go get his base Topps rookie for sure. But glad to have this one in the meantime. And the last guy I think never has to play another game is Mookie Betts. And wow, he's so good. And again, watching the games, he is so good. He's done it all. He's won a couple of World Series, an MVP. He's a leader. He's a great player. His WAR is great. So all of those things make me say emphatically that Mookie Betts could retire tomorrow and he would get elected to the Hall of Fame. That's how good he's been in the first 10 years of his career. So, yeah, that's my list. That's the 6 guys that I think are locks already. They could literally they don't have to play again. There's nothing they can do to tarnish it unless they do something illegal, either steroids and or betting on baseball, homage to Pete Rose. All right, these are guys that are they're going to get in. Again, all these guys I think will get in. It's where are they at are they for sure? Are they, yeah, they're certainly there. They need to maybe keep playing a little bit and do some things. And then the third group is still some work to do. And that'll make sense when I explain it in a minute. But these are guys that are absolutely they will get in, and they still need to play a little more. But Paul Goldschmidt's one of those, even though he had a down year this year. I think Paul Goldschmidt is that kind of player that you're going to get at the end of his career and look at his body of work and say, yep, that's what all these guys are. It's kind of a body of work crew. You look at them in totality of their careers, and you're going to end up saying, yep, Hall of Famer, and Paul Goldschmidt's going to be one of those. Another one that I think is one of those is Freddie Freeman. Here's his 2011. I mean, there's a bunch of 2011 Topps cards and Topps update what a great year of cards. He had so many great rookies that turned out to be really good. Freddie Freeman, one of those. He's just continued in his mid-30s, to be a really, really solid player. And he's one of those guys that, man, he's just really good for the team, drives in a lot of runs, solid first base. So, yeah, Freddie Freeman for sure. How about Manny Machado? Still some work to do, but I think, again, at the end of the day, his body of work is his WAR is actually shockingly high, and he's going to get in the Hall of Fame someday. This is his 2013 Topps rookie, and yeah, Manny Machado is going to get in. Another 2013 guy is Nolan Arenado. Just on defense alone, he might get in, but he's also a fantastic offensive player. And again, another guy, the Cardinals kind of scuttled a little bit this season, and Goldschmidt and Arenado, didn't have their greatest seasons. They weren't terrible, but they weren't up to their normal standards. And so that's going to happen as these guys get into these late stages of their careers. But Nolan Arenado absolutely will get in the Hall of Fame. I hate to say it because I'm not an Astros guy, but Jose Altuve, trash cans and all, he will eventually make the Hall of Fame. He's going to end up with some amazing career stats when it's all said and done. He is part of World Series champions. He's a scrappy little dude that is a really, really good player. And he's the guy that when the Rangers play the Astros a lot, obviously every season, I hate seeing Jose Altuve come up. And I just go, gosh, he's going to do something bad to us. And more often than not, he does. And so that's when you know that a player's really, really good, is when you just hate seeing him come up against your team, because you know the kind of damage they can do. Jose Altuve is that guy, and he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. How about Jose Ramirez? Very sneaky, awesome career that Jose Ramirez has had. This year was, what do you have, 39 home runs, 41 stolen bases, another incredibly solid, hit 300, I think. Yeah, he's just steady. And I think to be a Hall of Famer, you can be really great for a short period, more Sandy Koufax-esque, or you can be like this guy and just be really, really good for a really long time. And I think that's what we're going to ultimately have with Jose Ramirez. He's, just one of those guys that year in and year out, incredibly solid numbers, continues racking up that career WAR. And so Jose Ramirez will get in the Hall of Fame. All right, the last group. Actually, that's not true. I have two more on this body of work, and I don't have their cards. So I'm not only showing guys that I have cards of, but guys I want to have cards of. And there's two other players, and I will show you the cards here. Salvador Perez, to me, has, especially in the last couple of seasons, really put himself in position to get elected to the Hall of Fame. He has done some amazing things in his late 30s that most guys don't do. And he's also a catcher, which I think is an incredibly important factor here, because the expectations for catchers, as a former catcher myself, I know the expectations are usually lowered, but he has an amazing career, has had an amazing career, and the Royals are really good this year. He was a linchpin for that team. And so I just think Salvador Perez will eventually get in the Hall of Fame, no question. And the last one for this group of body of work, you kind of look at the entire career and you say, yep, that's a Hall of Famer. And I'm going to really upset Eric, those back pages, but Craig Kimbrell is going to be a Hall of Famer. If you look at him in his career and what he's done, and he had some bad years, and he's kind of scuffled this year a little bit, got released. Still, if you look at everything, he is totally a Hall of Famer. He was dominant as a closer, and I don't get why closers are held in such low regard by pretty much everyone, especially the hobby, for sure. But I would tell you that that's his job, and he was one of the best at it for a really long time. And so, yeah, it's not his fault. That's the way the role of the closer is, and I look at it as, are you one of the best that's ever done it? And you got to say that Craig Kimbrell falls into that list. He was, if you've watched him in critical moments, he's been amazing. He's, again, no closer's perfect, but Craig Kimbrell I think will get in the Hall of Fame. All right, now to the last group of players. I've got a bunch of these guys that I think still have some work to do. And let me define that, because you're going to see the first couple guys and be like, oh, they've done enough. Well, what they haven't done is reached the service requirement, which is 10 years. But I do believe there's a couple guys, the first two guys you're going to see, have done enough right now that once they play the first game of their 10th season, they're going to be they're a lock for the Hall of Fame. But they still have to do that. So there's still some work to do for a couple of guys on the service front. And then there's a bunch of these guys that I think will get in the Hall of Fame, because I'm optimistic that they're going to be able to do the things they need to do to get their career numbers and resumes up to Hall of Fame level. So let's start with the obvious ones. Shohei Ohtani. What he has done this season is one of the best seasons I've ever seen. And it's pretty awesome that he's done what he's done, and he didn't even pitch. So this is his Topps Chrome pitching rookie. Thank you, Josh, rated rookie, for selling me this card. And yeah, injuries have plagued his career, but he's had some amazing seasons already. He needs to have a few more just to be eligible, but he's going to win another MVP this year. It'll be his second, I believe. And so, yeah, Ohtani will be a Hall of Famer. How about Aaron Judge? Another monster season for Aaron Judge. This is... What can you keep saying about Aaron Judge? He just keeps putting up absolutely insane seasons, and he's piling them together now. He's going to win another MVP this year. It is, without a doubt, once he gets to 10 years, which will be next year, he will, I think it's next year, maybe 2 years, he will be he'll be a lock with what he's done. American League home run record, single season record. Yeah, Aaron Judge is going to get in the Hall of Fame. How about this guy, Juan Soto? Had an unbelievable year in his first year with the Yankees. I thought back in 2018, when he first came up and the Nationals won the World Series, I'm thinking, I think this guy is going to ultimately have the best career of all of the 2018 class. I would say Shohei has kind of put himself ahead right now on that, and time will tell as these guys continue to play their careers out. But Juan Soto is legit. He is the real deal. He is a great player, and I love him so much in terms of the how much I respect his game. I've got an 8 there. There's a 9 on his base tops, and here's a 10. So I've got 3 of those. And then I've got his Topps Chrome rookie as well in a 10. These cards, even with what he's done, this just goes to show how kind of silly the hobby can be sometimes about young players. These cards are so much cheaper than they used to be, and you can go out and get this card in a 10 for not as much money as you would think, given what Soto has already accomplished. It'll be interesting to see how the Yankees do this season in the postseason. I'm excited to see what happens there. Just to watch these guys continue. Postseason stuff matters, it just builds your case. And Juan Soto already has a ring, but we'll see what happens. All right, next up, I want to talk about another guy on the Yankees. I've got several Yankees here in a row, and that's Garrett Cole. There you see his Pirates rookie, and I think Garrett Cole, again, these are all guys that still need to do some more work, both, but I think, I'm optimistic that they will do that. I think Garrett Cole didn't have a Garrett Cole type season this year, but he's got a lot of years left, and assuming no injuries. But Garrett Cole will be a Hall of Famer. All right, the next Yankee is this guy. Giancarlo, don't call me Mike Stanton. I don't know, people that are going to disagree with this one, I'm sure. Stanton is pretty much one-dimensional in terms of what he does now. Home run hitter predominantly. when I watch when Mike Stanton's up to bat, when Giancarlo Stanton is up to bat, I stop and watch. I want to see him hit and that's the sign of kind of a player that is Hall of Fame worthy. Is wow, did the music stop when you saw that they were playing or that they were hitting? He hits balls harder, and it's unbelievable to watch him swing the bat, and I enjoy the heck out of it. Does he need to do some more? Yeah, he needs to have some reasonably good seasons still, build up his stats. I think he will. I think he's going to get to 500 home runs in his career. And yeah, Giancarlo Stanton. There's his 2010 Topps Update rookie. And injuries. That's what we're going to talk about next, because we got Ronald Acuna Jr. I think injuries play into a factor of determining whether or not a person had a really great career or not. And you just look at, again, the body of work that Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to put up over his career. And I think it's going to be pretty awesome, the combination of speed and power. And he just needs to stay on the field. He's a dynamic player that is fun to watch, and he's well on his way. He just has some more work to do, but I think ultimately he will do that and get into the Hall of Fame. Next up, sneaky guy, Rafael Devers, another part of that 2018 class. And again, one of those, he's very, to me, I would equate, if I was to look a little further down the road, Devers feels to me like a Fred McGriff type player. Will Devers ever win an MVP? Probably not, unless he just has a absolute bonker season. The Red Sox are really good, but it'd be hard to see him doing that. But he's going to be that steady guy, have really great seasons. They might move him to first base. God, so good and so steady. Just go look at the stats, And Devers is that kind of guy that I think will just accumulate and be really, really good, better than most for his whole career, and end up in the Hall of Fame. Next up, he would not have been on my list last year, Vlad Guerrero Jr. He is on my list this year. And I thought Vladdy was one of those guys, as we lovingly call him, Fat Boy. When he came into the league, there was so much hype. His cards were priced as if he was going to be, inner circle Hall of Fame worthy career. And that cooled, right? And now he had another great season this year, very under the radar season. I think he had 199 hits. Incredibly solid season, decent power numbers, 100 RBIs, I believe, 100 runs, I think. So I'm trying to go off memory. I looked all these guys up and was looking up a bunch of stuff, but it's all the numbers are jumbling together as I am starting to show these cards, and I don't have it all in front of me. Wow. Yeah, I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to just keep putting up seasons like this and build an amazing Hall of Fame resume, because he's really good and incredibly steady. So Vlad Guerrero Jr. Next one here is Matt Olson. And again, probably a guy that a couple of seasons ago wasn't even on my radar, but what he's done in Atlanta and having some great couple of seasons there has really jumped his chances of continuing that and building, again, a Hall of Fame career resume statistically and accomplishments. And so I think Matt Olson's going to get there, because I think he's that kind of guy that will do it if he's on the right team and can keep playing and staying healthy. All right, next up, Corey Seager. Corey Seager. I think Pepino will be excited that I'm putting Corey here. This is not a homer pick, although I'm thrilled to death that he is on the Texas Rangers. Another guy that you just stay healthy, man. Because when he's in the lineup, he's insanely good. and he's only getting better. I think Corey Seager, his last 2 seasons have been his best 2 seasons. What he did in the playoffs last year, he's won 2 World Series MVPs. I think every other player that's ever won multiple World Series MVPs is in the Hall of Fame. So I think Seager certainly has work to do, and he needs to stay healthy. But man, that's awesome, and I love that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. All right, the last guy, wow, probably the one that people are going to say, oh, hell no. Jacob deGrom. Does Jacob deGrom need to do some more to build it up? Yep. And I think after his, 18th Tommy John surgery that he had this last season and pitched a couple of games for the Rangers at the tail end of the season just to kind of get some rhythm, his stuff is still absolutely amazing. I argue that when Jacob deGrom is healthy, he is the best pitcher with the best stuff in the major leagues. And, Trick Skubal might say something different about that right now, but he's pretty lights out right now. But deGrom, multiple Cy Youngs, ERAs super low, amazing WAR. He's just got to stay on the field. And I'd really like him too, because that means he's pitching for my Rangers since he's signed with them through Rapture. So I want Jacob deGrom to do well. Maybe this is wishful thinking as a Rangers fan, but if he has a few more good seasons, I think he'll have enough of a career to make people go, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's that good, and he was so dominant for many years with the Mets on really bad teams that couldn't give him any run support or win any games for him. But wins is, seems far less important now, although I don't know why, because the ultimate goal is to win the game. So, yeah, but deGrom, unbelievable pitcher, and I think he'll do it. I think he'll get a few more good seasons under his belt and get in the Hall of Fame. So that is it, guys. That is what I think. Please let me have it down below. If you disagree, agree, I'd love to hear it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Keep collecting.